Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. I figure we'll do a 55% video for Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO right here. He, of course, is the obvious headliner of this batch of characters. And this guy is a legitimate force of a character, too. Way beyond par with a lot of the Dokkan Fest TURs this year. I think all of the in-between Dokkan Fests, this VEGITO dunks on them. Gohan and Piccolo, Turles, Kale, 17 and 17, Super Trunks, those characters are fodder compared to this guy. This guy just has the juice, he has the aura, he has the swag, he has the power. He's got it all. He's got an intro, he's got huge crit, he has huge damage reduction. This guy is a very good character. I'm beyond impressed. Remember, I mean, we'd never bring it up now, but remember how upset people were that VEGITO, we were expecting VEGITO was going to be part of the Heroes characters last year, and he was not. How good is that? Because last year, they did, I think, a pretty terrible job of designing the characters. This year is much better. So VEGITO, came out in the right year for sure. Now dude, look at these stats. Oh my god. I mean, those look really low. I mean, we are, again, at 55% right here. We'll see how VEGITO is going to do. Let's go ahead and Dokkan Awaken him as well. I'm not sure Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO's SSR or his TUR, they both look good. I'm not sure which one I will put as my picture. I feel like most people will have VEGITO's TUR. I feel like this guy is going to be like everyone's picture, right, on their profile. Because most people are going to have the TUR, they're probably going to have that. So I think I probably will put Limit Breaker VEGITO's SSR as kind of like my main like picture thing. Alright, so leveled up, okay, our stats are a little bit better as a TUR. I mean, we're at least above 10,000 on each, but the Heroes team HP could certainly be a major concern. I'm thinking about his build. I mean, I'm definitely going to gear a lot towards dodge, but I'm seeing some people talk about HP equips on some of these characters. I mean, even, getting a couple of HP equips in like a bronze slot and stuff like that, I mean, you could raise the team's HP by a couple of thousand. I mean, it could make a difference, because VEGITO, he'll be able to go toe-to-toe with the toughest bosses. And, it's like if we run Future Gohan's 800k HP Future team, VEGITO would be eating these super attacks and we're good. But on the Heroes team, where it's like we're going to struggle to hit 600,000 HP, I mean, against Physical Fusion Zamasu, VEGITO can live the super, but it would take basically everything we have. Against Physical Fusion Zamasu. So, we want to keep these things in mind. We have him at 55%. Let's hop into an event and let's see how good he is. I did make sure that my physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO was Easy 8 before we started this, because he is just very important to have. Physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. That's the combo, is the top two. They will carry this by themselves, right? Like, they're gonna be very good together. Yeah, VEGITO! There we go. It's always fire when they're giving us the VEGITOs, bruh. That is what we like to see. Okay. So, alright, I mean, I might just leave this rotation exactly like this, because we can get those hits in for Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, real quick, I am not a fan of this guy, right? Or, like, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Those characters, I feel like, probably just weren't really made strong enough. This guy could be a legitimate option, though, against Omega. I think Omega's a real fight, and I think that this Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku could help out against Omega, right? So, alright, both my VEGITO and the friend VEGITO are at 55%. We can kind of take a look at what they're doing here. Oh, I gotta remember that I could just do it like this, right? So Link set here, we have Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle. Fuse Fighter is not really going to be too relevant for this guy, huh? I mean, I guess with Easy Physical Super VEGITO, of course, or Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. But the point I was going to make was that, remember, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does not have Fuse Fighter. So it's going to have to be with the EZA Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito if we're going to want that up. Super attack effect right here is probably the one weakness for this character. His super attack effect, he just gets 30% attack for 1 turn. That's the weakness for him right there. There's no reason why he couldn't have just gotten 30% defense as well, right? Like, for sure. Let's see. Part of his passive, he activates intro animation, and he gets 30% crit and 30% damage reduction for 6 turns. That's very good. He gets 3 key 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 150% attack and defense on super attack. He gets another 100% attack and defense and a 70% chance of an additional super if there's another grade 8 power or crossover category ally in the same turn, or grade 8 power or crossover category enemy. And then he gets 40% crit and 30% damage reduction if all allies in the turn are grade 8 power or crossover. So for the first 6 turns, he's going to have 70% crit and 60% damage reduction. That, kids, is how you make a character. That's going to be pretty effective. Defense at 175k. I mean, that's certainly not the craziest at 55%, but, you know, him super attacking, he's going to get 150% defense, right? So he'll be at, like, kind of like a reasonable number. Again, all things considered, I think that this Vegito is just going to be very powerful. Once we have him rainbowed, once we have him maxed out with links and stuff like that, this guy, again, he is capable of going toe-to-toe with the toughest bosses in the game. We're talking Fusion Zamasu, Omega, Red Zone Goku Black, Trunks from the Gods Immortal event. This guy's going to be able to, I think, put in work against all of them. We're going to, again, there's actually so many characters, so many events, there's so much to do. I'll try and do as many videos as I possibly can. You know, and it's like taking, like, Vegito and some of the... Vegito is going to get a full world tour. We'll take him into every event. And I'll probably try and get, like, some other videos in there for some other characters as well. So, like, you know, I think Super Saiyan 3 Rose, I'm going to do a video specifically for him against Omega, because I think he'll be really good there, right? Stuff like that. Alright, so here's another 55% Vegito right here. Let's just quickly take a look what he's rocking. No equip... Oh, he's literally the same as mine. No equips and full link level 1s at the moment. I will probably have Vegito's links done very quickly. We'll be ready to jump into his link level 10 rainbow video pretty fast. I probably will use... okay, so we didn't get the additional super right there, unfortunately. I will use significant link skill orb investment on him. I definitely can get away with it, right? Because, I mean, there's been barely any characters. So we'll go ahead and give him the juice. We'll give him as much as we can. All right, so bam. Turn 3. Turn 3, and we could use his active skill. So remember, again, Vegito has the active skill. It's this right here. So the way that this works, he could do this either if all allies in the turn are crossover, he could do his active skill on turn 3. If that's not the case, then we could do it on turn 6. I think this is like good conditions for this active skill. And then this greatly raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage to the enemy, and then in the turn activated, all attacks become crits, which is good. Now, I think probably the best and greatest value you can get from this active skill is, remember, Vegito gets 150% attack and defense on super attack. That will activate with this active skill. So, let's say we're fighting Red Zone Fusion Zamasu. We make sure to save his active skill until we're fighting Physical Fusion Zamasu. Then we pop, boom. And then he would have it in slot 1. He'll have that defense. Because remember, he doesn't get defense from a super attack effect. So if you use your active skill, that's his max defense for the turn. Right? So, like, that is where this active skill can be handy. Is against a tough boss, we could use it. So we, of course, will be doing that against Omega as well. When we do the video taking Vegito against Omega, right, and we get to the end of the fight where Vegito is going to be down to only 30% damage reduction as opposed to 60% because the Omega fight goes on longer, we'll make sure, bam, active skill, boom, and then he's going to have the extra 150% defense right away to protect against the AoEs. So it's just, he's designed very well. He's good with a good design. I love that. Alright, so there we go. So again, remember, we did the active skill. He gets the 150% defense right away, and then bam. That's what his defense looks like after he actually super attacks. Now again, keep in mind I'm playing JP, so he does have, you know, a voice in his intro and his active skill. Unfortunately, on global, that's not the case. Now, I certainly do not think that this is like, you know, Amatsu, like, sitting there cackling with, like, you know, he's got, like, you know, he's twirling his mustache. Ha ha ha! We've screwed global players again. I imagine it's some sort of copyright or you know, like something like that. Like, there's rights that they cannot use the audio for some reason on global. It has to be. Because Vegito's voice lines are very basic. Again, he's not saying, now, time for the ultimate Super Saiyan 4 power. I am Vegito from Dragon Ball Heroes using Limit Breaking Super Saiyan 4 power. You're done. Like, he's not saying that, right? He's just saying, like, it's over and shit like that. So, it's like they easily could have just gotten Vegito dialogue to do that, right? That would have been no problem whatsoever. Yeah, let's just do this again. We got these same links activated. I could leave Super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 1 for now, just to sort of get those hits in. That's the one thing with Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku, of course, is, you know, it's a struggle. Well, okay, now, I mean, this kid is going to get absolutely blasted, this Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's just, the design of needing to get hit in order to be good defensively is just terrible. That's horrible design for characters that have that. And unfortunately, this Goku does have that. Some of the characters from last year, you know, there's spots where we could use them. There's spots we'll be able to find for hearts. Maybe there's, you know, fights we could, you know, kind of mix in Sealess at times. I do think Xenopan is kind of like well, I mean, you want to be careful because she is a true dodge or die, right? Like, for real, for real. So, you know, we would need to be very, very cautious with her. But again, we could get away with Xenopan, for example. Okay, I guess let's just. I mean, we mostly have seen like what Super Saiyan 4 Vegito actually has to offer. Believe it or not, he's not super complex with like a million moving parts and stuff like that. Like this is kind of what Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is, like the Limburger Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Like, we're seeing it in action. Wow, that one has gotten unlucky. That's, again, he didn't get the 70%. Because the 70% for him, it's a 70% chance he just gets an actual additional super. It's not a normal that has a chance to be a super. It's just an additional super, and that's several times he did not get it. Oh my god, we could die. No way, wow. Oh, that's so crazy. So we lose because Vegito didn't get the 70% right there. That is sad. Wow. That's so crazy. Okay. Let's get like another rotation or two. Supreme Kai of Time. No, the Opie, man. Yeah, let's just get like one more rotation for Vegito. I mean, there's not, again, really too much more to talk about with him. Like, you know, again, it's a good design, but it is rather basic. I guess one thing to keep in mind is that, remember, after 6 turns, his intro buff does go away, which means he loses some of that crit chance, and he loses some of the 30% crit and 30% damage reduction. He both loses once the first 6 turns are up, right? So that's something we do want to keep in mind. Again, we'll do like another rotation or something like that, and then we'll finish up this video. Alright, so we have kind of a not super great rotation right here, right? So we're gonna I guess we could see what Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito can do here with no links activated, I suppose. Let's do that, right? You know, you of course do want to pair him as much as possible with Super Saiyan 4 characters, right? To get super, you know, prepare for battle, Saiyan Roar, like those types of links. But yeah, I think Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is a very well done character for Heroes this year. These characters are just like goofy fun, right? Like, you know, to me, I mean, one thing I really love about Dragon Ball is kind of encapsulated in something like Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, right? Like, I like the spectacle of these heroes characters, and I do hope that next year these characters can be on this same level, which is really quite good. So there we go. You know, again, we looked at some of the stats and stuff like that, some of the numbers that Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is able to put up, right? Let's just go ahead and take a look at his kit, and we will finish up. All right, this is Fused Fighter who surpasses all. Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito Xeno. Like, how preposterous of a name is that? Again, this is Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito Xeno. We love it. His leader skills: Dragon Ball Hero, Grade 8 Power, or Fuse Fighter, category key 3 and 1, 70% to stats. And then he gives the extra 30% to stats to characters who belong to the crossover team. I think the leader skill is, I mean, it's good, right? Like, that's a strong leader skill. He can run a very effective Dragon Ball Hero team, and I think his Giant 8 Power team will probably be even better than his Heroes team, which you will be able to run effectively, because he does have restrictions for crossover or Giant 8 Power, but I don't really have a problem with the way they designed his restrictions. I don't really think it's a bad thing or anything, right? His super attack is the Galactic Spirit Sword, which raises attack by 30% for one turn and does immense damage. Again, this is the weakness of this character. I just see no reason why any character should release without defense on their super attack effects, right? Like, it's just pointless. His passive skill, Sword That Cuts Through Darkness. He activates his entrance animation upon the character's, first appearance. And he gets 30% chance to crit and 30% damage reduction for 6 turns. It does wear off after 6 turns, of course, but I would much rather characters have, like, intro really strong buffs than, like, all right, it's turn 6, now we can become good. I'll take good right away over we become good, for sure. Then Vegito gets 3 key 200% to stats, attack and defense. He gets 150% attack and defense on super attack. He gets 100% attack and defense and a 70% chance of launching an additional super if there is a Giant 8 Power or crossover category ally in the same turn, or a Giant 8 Power or crossover category enemy. Now, again, running something like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and like a Giant 8 Power team will work quite effectively. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan is a legitimate, Giant 8 Power character as well. His restriction is for Giant 8 Power too, right? So Giant 8 Power is a real team that we could run for sure. And then finally, Vegito gets 40% crit and 30% damage reduction if all allies are Giant 8 Power or crossover category characters. So I think he's pretty well designed in that aspect. His active skill, the Galactic Eternal Sword. He greatly raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage to the enemy, and then in the turn he activates the active skill. All attacks are crits. And we could do that when all allies in the turn are crossover category characters on the 3rd turn, or he could just do it from the 6th turn, from the start of battle. His link set is Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle. Really good link set too, right? Like, that's strong. This guy is W's everywhere except for his super attack effect. That's literally the only non-W in this guy's kit, pretty much. Even here, 12 key multiplier, 160%. This is very uncommon. Typically, only huge, major celebration characters have this, right? Like, the 5th anniversary LRs have it. Like, Agio Blue Gogeta has it. Like, Tech Vegito Blue and STR Rose like, those are the types of characters that they've given 160% 12 key multipliers. There's only like 10 or something like that have it, even still. So it's very uncommon, and they gave it to Vegito here, which is cool. Then, I mean, this guy, this is where he would, like, if he was just good with no restrictions at all, this is the type of character that is just so very helpful, right? I mean, he probably, even, without some of his baseline stuff, this guy will still be helpful, right? Just with, 30% damage reduction on something like Patara or something like that. But this guy is on so many teams that could use help, right? So he's on the Dragon Ball Hero category team, of course. He's also over here on the Giant 8 Power category team. Then he's here on the Fuse Fighter team. More options for this team, of course, is always a good thing. Vegito is also over here on the crossover category team. Nice for this to get more options, of course. Then Vegito is here on the Patara category team, a team that will always need help. Always, always, always. So that's good. He's here on the full power category team as well, which means he is on LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku's team. Then he's here on the time traveler category team. Vegito is also over here on the final trump card team, which means he's on the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. They're the one that lead final trump card, and they lead Battle of Fate. Yeah. Okay, so he's on final trump card there. Then this is what, Battle of Wits? Yeah, this is the Battle of Wits category that Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is on. Another strong team. He's also on Defender of Justice. You want to talk about a niche team that does not get a lot of buffs, it would be this, right? Which is mostly constructed of the Time Patrol for that category. He's also over here on... this is Time Limit. Yeah, pretty uncommon category to get characters, honestly. Time Limit is not even like a leader skill that's on like a major character right now, right? Like, who leads Time Limit besides... it is only LR Tech Gogeta. LR Tech Gogeta and then this Gotenks. Like, they both came out together. They're the only characters that lead Time Limit. A lot of those 2021 characters, they've never put those leader skills on other characters, right? Actually, Defender of Justice. Who leads Defender of Justice? Like, we haven't gotten a new leader for that besides Videl, right? Yeah, it's just Videl. Like, dude, there's actually so many categories from 2021 like that, right? Entrusted Will, still led by AGL Trunks. Like, it's Miraculous Awakening, I think, is still only led by UI Goku, isn't it? Like, there's not, like, those categories have not gotten love at all. It's crazy. Yeah, so there's Time Limit. Then he's also on the Accelerated Battle category team, which, of course, is very strong. Then down here, he's also on Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Now, I did get the mission done against Fusion Zamasu. This guy probably would have helped. Even without part of his passive, he may have helped more than some other characters, right? Like, he really might have, which is crazy. But I did get it done. So, now I don't have to worry about that. We got it done. So, there we go. There is 55% Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. This guy's just awesome, man. I love him. He's great. A lot of fun with this Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Let me know what you guys think of him. I'll get him link leveled and stuff like that. Again, we got just dozens and dozens of videos over the next week. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.